there was fire outbreak and a house got burnt and someone comes in to pay for the cost of the full house, that should be an exciting news for you. But how is that called in law? In fact, that is an insurance benefit. If you insure property and the property gets damaged, either as a result of some activity that you insured the property against, the insurance company is expected to pay you the benefit for the damage that has resulted. Now, in this video, we are explaining the requirements of the law for the insurance of commercial buildings in Ghana. I am Godwin Salasi Dakbo, and this is Make It Legal.
Make it legal.
We'll take you through a very important law in Ghana called the Insurance Act of 2020. That law mandates every commercial building to be insured. We want to talk a little more about that law and focus on the need to insure commercial buildings. And at the end of the day, I want you to find out whether or not the commercial building you have in your area, or the one you own, or the one under construction by you is even insured under any building insurance policy. All right, so this is what the law says. The law says that a person who constructs or causes to be constructed a commercial building is required by law to ensure that that commercial building which is under construction is covered by a building insurance policy or contract from a licensed insurer. Insurer is the company or entity that is providing you the benefit in the event of the things you insure the property against occur. So if you insure the property against fire, if there's a fire outbreak, the one who comes in to ensure that you get a full benefit of the insurance package is an insurer. So when you pick up a building insurance policy or contract from an insurer in respect of a commercial building that is under construction, you are simply complying with the law that says that you are mandated by law to ensure that if you are constructing a building or you are causing same to be constructed for you, you take a building insurance contract from a licensed insurer in respect of that building. It does not only talk about commercial buildings that are construction or that you cause to be constructed for you. It also talks about the owner or occupier of a commercial building. Maybe you are the one who owns a big building or complex or plaza at the roadside, and a lot of shops have come to rent some of these shops to sell one commodity or another. As far as they are using that facility to engage in a commercial venture or a business undertaking, you are mandated as the owner of that commercial facility to keep it insured against a lot of things. It could be against fire, it could be against flood, it could be against earthquake and all of that. So you are mandated by the law to ensure that so long as the building is one that is being used for commercial activity, is kept insured. Remember, number one, those who are constructing a particular commercial building are also expected to have a commercial building insurance policy for that particular project. And secondly, those who are owners of commercial buildings are also mandated to keep it insured at all times. And it is not just the owners alone that have to do it. The law also requires that the occupier of a commercial building keeps that building also insured as well. This is very necessary. So your office where you run that business or that particular supermarket or that particular practice as a consultant or as a firm, whatever the profession is, once it's a commercial activity and you are doing it in a building, the law says that that building must be insured. You must have a commercial insurance in respect of that particular building. So, I mean, the question you may ask is, what exactly is to be covered by this insurance contract or the insurance policy we're talking about in respect of buildings that are meant for commercial purposes? The law indeed is quite clear. Again, when I say the law here, I'm referring to the Insurance Act of 2020. It also explains certain things that must be covered by that insurance policy. And I'll run you through a few of them now. So first, for buildings under construction, the law says that the persons who are engaged in the construction of that particular facility are to ensure that they insure the property against liability that may arise from negligence or breach of duty or breach of duty of care as the law calls it, in respect of the employer's activity or the activities of the contractors. If on the project site, the employer's agent or the contractor's agent or officers engage in an activity that results in a liability or that cause damage to someone, the person has to be compensated by the insurer. And before that could happen, you who is engaging the construction of the facility must insure the property that is under construction with an insurance company before the insurance company can come in to provide for the benefit in case of any negligence or breach of duty of care of any of the employees of the contractor or the employer or any of the engineers on the project site. So that is very important. The law expects you to provide insurance cover irrespective of that project which is under construction, so that when there is any liability at all arising from the actions or omissions of any of the officers of the contractors or the employers or the engineers, either those actions are coming from negligence or breach of duty, whoever suffers the liability can be compensated by the insurer that you have insured the commercial building and construction with. So that is the first thing that must be covered by the building insurance policy document or contract. Then again, the second thing that must be covered by the building insurance contract is any legal cost that would arise from a claim that is taken up to ensure that any negligence caused, any breach of duty, that with any claim that any person may suffer as a result of negligence or breach of duty of any of the agents or officers of the employer, the engineers or consultants or persons who are contractors working on the building that is under construction. The last but not the least thing that must be covered again under insurance policy respect of buildings under construction is any legal or other cost of investigation and settling claims that may arise from breaches of duty or negligence of any of the workers on site, either they are workers from the camp of the engineers or the consultants or the contractors or the employers. When we talk about the employers, we are referring to the person who owns the facility, the one who has contracted people to do the job for him or her. He is the employer, and engineers are the representative of the employer who are there to ensure that the building is constructed or the project is carried out in accordance with the plan they have initially agreed with the employer to follow. So those are the things that must be covered in respect of buildings that are under construction. So what of any other commercial building which is not under construction? It's been fully completed and is being used as a commercial facility. What things must be covered in the building insurance contract? The law says that that insurance policy, which is in respect of a commercial building, should cover any of the following items. The first one is that the insurance policy must make provision for any loss or damage that may occur or any hazard that may occur because of the collapse of the building, because of the fire outbreak in the building, because of a storm or flood or earthquake that occur that affected or affects the building and people suffer. In other words, when there's fire outbreak and people's items gets bent, the insurance policy should cover benefit for such person to be compensated by the insurer. Then last but not the least is that it should provide some indemnity against the liability of the owner or the occupier of the premises whose action resulted in a loss or damage to persons who are occupying the premises. So the owner of the building is supposed to pick an insurance policy which makes provision to indemnify you against a loss that has occurred to you because you were occupying the premises. Maybe it's a supermarket that is run by a big commercial entity and you walk into the supermarket to buy something and then there's a fire outbreak, or when you get to the supermarket, you sustain an injury, and because of that damage you are entitled to be compensated. So if the building owner has an insurance policy in respect of the building, then the insurer will come in to ensure that you get compensated for it. So that is why it's important for every commercial building, aside those that are under construction, they must also be well insured with a building insurance contract. All right, so I believe with these few highlights, you are able to appreciate the need to ensure that your commercial building is insured against specific things mentioned in the law. And if you don't do so, you are acting contrary to this regulation and I want to believe you pick a lesson or two from this one. Please go ahead right now and like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are here to do so, and please share this video to someone. Let them get to know what we explain here on this channel. I am Godwin Selassie Dakpo, and this is Make It Legal.
Make it legal.